I'm actually a teacher by profession.
Okay.
And the other things are usually like they are actually the side gigs, but a lot of people know me for the other things more than my profession. Yeah.
Why is it so?
Well, I don't. Maybe I'm a bit of a discreet person, but I don't think that people need to get into my main businesses.
Okay.
Like, it's up to it's strictly up to me. Yeah. So that has been it for me.
Yeah, I'm also hearing that these days teachers are no longer called professional teachers again.
Yeah, with the new curriculum, they call us facilitators because they want it to be a learner centered. So it's not like you, the teacher, knows a thing and you are coming to teach them, but they want them to explore by themselves and do few findings for themselves.
Okay.
That way, the impact is great because it's like something they came out with themselves, and so the teacher is just there to facilitate or to guide them to be able to discover some of these things. So yeah, that's it.
So you are no longer a professional teacher, you are a facilitator.
Yes, I'm a professional facilitator.
Okay. But you're being paid the same salary as...
Oh yeah, it's just the same. It's the same teacher system they know, but it's just like things are revolving, and they try to give names to certain things. Yeah, so basically that's it.
Oh, okay. So I mean, your initially when you were posted, the first time you were posted, walk us through some of the encounters.
Okay, so I have a few stories here and there. Maybe let me start off with this. So to be a teacher in Ghana, you either go to the training college, who is like teacher training college, affiliated to a university, either University of Cape Coast, the School of Education, or Winneba. So I happened to go to St. Teresa's College of Education. It's at Owe. It's an all-female institution. So whilst I was there, I was doing other things. So I am a very passionate young lady, and I try to explore. I do a lot of stuff, yeah. So whilst I was in school, I was into community engagement. I was doing pageantry. I was doing women empowerment, stuff like that, because I'm a philanthropist. I like to make impact in society, and one of my greatest fear has always been for a fact that I might die and leave this world without impacting a lot of lives. That has been my greatest fear, because I don't know how long I'm supposed to live, but I'm just scared I might not impact a lot of lives as I would want to before my time here on earth. So yeah, so whilst I was in college, I was doing few stuffs, like I do pageants and getting platforms that will allow me to speak or become an advocate for certain societal issues, not only about women. So while in school, I was in pageantry. So I did a phase of our school, I did a phase of our community, then I moved on to the national pageant, which was Miss Tourism Ghana. So whilst I was in school, like, it is so weird, or it is, people think that if you're a teacher, you don't have to take such platforms. So it was a venture that seems inappropriate as far as my profession is concerned. So people have a lot of opinions about it, but people have a lot of opinions, but it depends on how you take it. Because I feel that I can be a teacher and still follow my passion if I want.
You want to?
Usually people send sponsorship letters to districts they want to be posted to. And for the first time, we teachers, we had to do national service. So I didn't, because I was so busy, I couldn't even get the time to send my letters to any district to be sponsored or to be posted to that district. So in filling my form, I just choose Greater Accra region. So for my service, they posted me to Adentan Municipal Education Office, Adentan Education Office. So I was there I went there and they were like, oh, since I'm a professional teacher, they will post me to a school under the district and not to work necessarily in the office there. So I was given a school, Obojo Presbyterian Basic School. It's close to East Legon. Those who are in Accra will know that. So that is how I started my career as a professional teacher. And whilst I was there, I have to take few leaves, excuses to go and do my other things. It's been like a tantrum, but some way, somehow, we were done with the service, and then they are giving us our very first posting. And as I said earlier on, I didn't have sponsorship to any district, so I wasn't expected to be posting it to any district. All I know is that I've chosen Greater Accra region. And so the posting came, and I saw my name for a school. They said Tehe Adan. Okay, so that's still Greater Accra. I saw Adan. I was a little impressed because I kind of figured that, oh, Adan. Adan is a nice place that everybody would want to go to. So then I started searching for my place online. I googled and I didn't find a name. The only thing I saw there was like they were involved in a chieftaincy dispute, and a chief was bent, and there were exchange of guns and the like. So I became scared to say, and I said, hey, where am I going? So I even showed it to my brother, and my brother was like, hey, said, you are going on a war zone. And I'm like, how should I go? Should I not go? I wasn't certain, but then I finally took the chance and I went. My first day there, I got there. It was surprising to know that we don't have any commercial vehicles going to the said village. At the time, I just know it's a village, you know. So then they said I have to pick an Okada. Trust me, like from my growing up and everything, using motor ride was not part of it. So it is something that scares me a lot. Now I have to stay on a motorbike to the said village I have been posted to. So then I was like, okay, motorbike. So I thought it was even a short distance actually. But then they mentioned, like, as at then, like 5 years ago, they were mentioning like 30 cities, and for a minute I'm like, what the heck is 30 cities? I'm like, okay, because I know if you are picking a motorbike, it's usually 5 cities, 3 cities, or 4 cities. So when they say 30 cities, so it cannot look like, okay, then this is really like a journey. Okay, so I went on the ride. I was so scared. I have to cling on the motor rider, and then we started off to the village. This guy was riding for like over 30 minutes, and we not even see a single human being. I was like, why are you taking me? And he said, well, the village is there. So we bypassed some cattle headed by a Fulani herdsman. So then we asked the guy, we are going here. The guy said, oh, it's the 10 we just passed before reaching to him. So we now have to return to that 10. So we finally found our way, and then we went there. When we got there, we saw a number of teachers or facilitators sitting under a tree. So I got there, I got off the motorbike, and then I asked them, after greeting, I said, oh, they say, welcome to TADA Basic School. I said, oh, thank you. Then I'm like, where is the village? Where is the town? And they were like, this is the village. I'm like, what are you talking about? Because from the road we use, like the rough road we use there, I could count like about it's less than 50 mud houses with thatches roofed. So I was expecting that, okay, maybe that's like a farmhouse somewhere, maybe there is a village or a town somewhere. They say, oh, this is the village. I'm like, what are you talking about? And it will interest you to know that the school is more like the city of the cottage or whatever, because I don't want to even classify it as a village, because a village should have over 1,000 settlements to be called a village. So this is more like a cottage or maybe a farmhouse, and this is me, an Accra girl, with all the should I say exposure. Yeah, with all the exposure. I've been on national platforms, I've been on TVs and the like, and here am I in some cottage somewhere, and it's weird, so. But I think the teachers, they were very receptive, and I cannot like it for myself, because for some reason I would have said, oh, immediately I leave that village I was going to take transfer or something, or do reposting. But for the teachers, they were very receptive, they welcome. It was a nice place. And everyone that knows me knows that I'm a very what do you call it, I'm a very compassionate person. I'm a philanthropist. So looking at them, I feel that, okay, I don't need to take transfer, I don't need to do reposting. Maybe let me add to them to see what impact we can make in the life of the villagers. And that was the starting point for me. Now I have made that decision in my mind without the other challenges that came with it later on. Then I was like, I needed to rent a space to stay there. They said they don't have any rooms they even rent, because even the indigents or the natives themselves are like, they are packed up in their mud houses, so they don't have a room to rent. And the space has only one teacher's bungalow built for 3 occupants, but for lack of accommodation we have to be pairing. So I was paired with one other teacher, so we were 2 females in the room to start off with. So, and then the other rooms too, everyone is pair. So we were 6 living in the village, and the others use their motorbike to commute from the nearby towns. And that was a starting point of my life in a village, or my life or my career as a professional teacher. Yeah.
Okay, so how did you get the accommodation?
So I was perching in a bungalow. That was the start.
Okay.
And then we had this one of the mud buildings, cause even the school block was just 3 classrooms really. So it was accommodating the crèche, the nursery, the smaller kids. So the rest of us from P3, P4, P5, we were all teaching under 3s. And anybody that knows that the wind blows so it's should I say strongly, it would be really strong. When you are there and the wind is blowing, someone might even be asking that, why you, as if you are in transit. Okay. So that's what happens there. So sometimes the boards are fixed in between trees, and when the wind blows, the board can remove and even want to hit you, the teacher, and then the student. So all of us have to scatter. There were other times the nail they used to hold the board on the tree is falling off. So at certain times you may just have to sort to, you are lecturing, but it shouldn't be. You are supposed to put it on the board so the student could see for a far what is it you are trying to explain to them. So that was the starting point. Then aside that, I can't imagine my life teaching under a 3 or having to be perching with someone in a village in between nowhere, because there are no shoemakers, no food vendors, no saloon, nothing. It's either you are preparing food on your own or you are going to get hungry. No sports, nothing. So even to wash your hair, you may have to commute from the village to maybe a nearby town. And all this, you don't have a car as a means of transport, so you have to call an Okada rider. Interestingly, there was no Okada rider even in the village there, so you'd have to call from a nearby town for them to come all the way to come and pick you before they will take you and bring you back. So because of the in and out, because they will tell you when they come they will not get any passengers back, they also turn up to charge a lot. So at the time we were paying like 30 cedis, when my fare from Accra to the town where I would get the ride was just like 12 cedis, sometimes 10 cedis at the time. But I'll take 12 cedis from Accra to the town there, and then I'll go and pay like 30, 35 cedis to the village. I'm like, and this is a motor ride. So that could tell you the situation at the place. Okay. So I think it wasn't long when COVID came, and schools were on hold, sort of. So, but I was in the junior high school. I was a JHS teacher. I was a subject teacher. So the primaries were off, like completely. They were not coming to school. But with the JHS, we needed to prepare the final year students for their BEC exams. So we didn't have the choice. So we were still in the school. So at the time there was a decongestion because the teachers that were in the primary had left home. So we were left with just with the JHS teachers, and we were 3 at the time. Yeah, we were only 3 in the school. So we now have like a space to ourselves for just that period that we were preparing the final year students for their exams. So
but as a teacher, are these some of the challenges most of the teachers that go outside
a lot of people, like it is not like most. That is the challenge in all the remote areas. People that are in Accra have no idea, but trust me, because for me, for like when I even heard Greater Accra region, and to think that this place is this close to the capital city, I didn't know we would have like typical villages or cottage like that to say. So this has been the challenge everywhere. So if you see a teacher out there, like, shout out to all teachers out there. It's not easy.
It's
and
really
I know
tough.
that. Yeah, I know that. Like, I've experienced it and I know what it is. So
is that the reason why most of the people that are posted outside Accra do not agree to go?
of course, because I kind of feel that if the government could put up some of these edifices, even though I'm in a village, but we have like good accommodation, something like good furniture, not like the luxurious one, something they need there. At least it's you ginger, should I say ginger? I don't want to use it. Like it's a good incentive for people to want to use as a compensation for staying in such areas, because it's not easy to stay there at all. No.
So
Because it's like your whole life is in a box.
over there,
It's 6 and it's like there is no life, like, and sometimes the only thing I think my first day there, I encountered there were bats in the teachers' bungalow, the ceilings. Even those buildings that have been put up there, I think they need maintenance, but it's just there. So the bats are using it as their habitat. When it sees Okoro, they will start coming out. My first time, we were there, and then all I could see is through. I was scared, and they were like, "You ain't seen nothing yet. This is what they do." So at 6, they all come out in badges like that, and then when by morning, somehow they find their way back into the ceiling. So it's been one thing from the other. There are wall geckos all over the place. Every second you see ants. You could fetch water down, your whole water is full with ants. And sometimes you need to use your pail to kind of fetch shit like the top coat part off, to be able to get like a clean water to use, or if you don't want ants in your water to say. Yeah, so this has been like this has been the life. Yeah.
so why is it the government decide to put up a school over there but without structures for teachers?
I think this one is for the government. You should ask the stakeholders and those in charge of it. Our education system in Ghana, it really needs much to be desired. I don't want to lie. I'm not even talking about the fact that we find ourselves in those places. There are no books to learn anything. And this place I'm talking about, from the beginning, we had no desks, no table, no teacher's table or chair. So even the students were sitting on the floor. They sometimes pack storybooks from some NGOs that came to donate some kind of books. So they have to pack it in steps to sit on it to be able to write. And these are the lower grade kids, because they were in the class at the time. But the rest, we were just on the under the 3 teaching. One of the days I will not forget was when I went to teach under a 3, and then a snake fell. It was like I literally ran. But the students, because they are used to their environment, so they quickly rushed on it, killed the snake, and one even used their hand to pick it up. Come and see me screaming. I was like, stop it. I was like, oh God. It was some might think I'm being dramatic about it, but it was something that really scared me, because I've not experienced such a thing, to be teaching and then a snake was falling. And fast forward, they tried to build a school block for them. And it was going on beautifully. The building was turning out beautifully until but whilst we were there. So then when it comes to rainy seasons, because we teach under 3s, once the rain is coming, we have to close. No matter what. Sometimes we even close and then later on it doesn't even rain. But some of these students, all of them don't even commute from the same village. Some come from nearby villages. Some have to cross some streams to get to school. So if the rain is about falling and we don't close them, they might have challenge returning back to their villages. So by the time the clouds start gathering, we need to close. So it makes teaching and learning ineffective. I don't want to lie. And we don't even have books. And these are students that will write the same exams with people living in Accra with all the resources. Some even have extra classes. And then that brings me to the question, do they have to write the same final exams? Because it's not the same. Even they don't even have the time. Whilst teaching and learning can be very conducive or going on very well in the cities, in the village it's about to rain, they have to go. So more often than not, teachers are not even able to finish the scheme of work for the term.
Can you walk us through a moment where there was severe rain that really disturbed you guys?
Oh yeah, but the point is, Adan, anybody that knows Adan knows that when it rains, there is the wind blow at Adan is so strong. So even when it rains, it comes like in a storm form. So the day I wouldn't forget, I will come there, but let me not say it here, because it was actually a rain that collapsed a building we put together. So I will get there. So let me not jump it now. So when it's about to rain, the kids have to go because it comes with wind blow. Then there are boards that we fix on in between 3s. They all come off. So for some time we would be teaching without boards until we are able to get a carpenter to fix it back on the 3s. Sometimes some of the students try to improvise and do it for themselves. So those are the things that happen whenever it's raining. Some of the students cannot go home because the stream might have been overflowing and it's now dangerous or deadly for them to want to go. So they have to go all the way through a different route that can take them like a very long time. So that is what happens whenever it rains. So but the JHS 3s, at a point, we were giving them one of the mud houses they started building, supposedly to be for teachers accommodation. And I understand it was whether the municipal assembly or one MP. And I'm like, an MP wants to build a house and you are using mud, like a mud house? And you are using a mud house to build what?
The MP wanted to build a class.
No, like it's supposed to be like a bungalow for teachers.
And he's using a mud house to build.
No, so I understand that the community started with mud. And then one member of parliament or whether assemblyman, any of these politicians, they said they will come and finish it up, kind of renovate it. Because I'm expecting a politician to say, okay, I need land. Let me put up a whole new edifice. They don't start with mud and then you come and say, okay, you want to
continue with mud,
finish it up. So it was not making sense. And by then the students were living in it to have some class because at least it has a roof on its top. So the building, we made a student move out from there to under the trees because after COVID, everybody was coming back. And the person I was pairing with, she's a married woman, so now she was pregnant actually when I was there with her. But during COVID, she put to bed and she will be coming back with the husband and then the mother-in-law, like the mother as a babysitter. So there was no way I would have to live in the same space with her. And my other colleague too was facing the same thing. We said, okay, then if that's the case, we would have to renovate the said building they started, and the politicians said they will come and do it, and they left it and nobody is doing anything about it. We'll build it up ourselves and then we will live there, because once those people are back, we literally don't have any place to stay. So we have to go and buy cement, we buy sand, and trust me, means of transportation there is difficult. So even if we buy cement from Kasai, anybody the big Adanjansi Kasai, or sometimes we go to Bato. Bato is also a close landmark to the village, or Sege and Koledo. When we buy the cement from many of these places, you need to pay the riders that will bring it. So you give them the money to buy, and then they are motorbike money as well. So it was getting expensive, and we buy literally everything from there. So we started. They came and plastered the thing, put up the thing. And my friend, because she had she sent quite a couple of things. I was living in Accra. So I was actually doing, like, I go there every weekend, I'm back in Accra. But for her, she wanted to live there. So she have a mattress and things that the rains and things even make it worse. So she was in need of a space to stay. So she quickly put together some things and then she moved in. But I was trying to spec my place a little bit. So I was living with her and I was still doing my place. So I tried to bring the bathroom inside the room so I could shower there. So I put together a whole bathroom there. We put together a whole like a veranda, they say, or let me say a porch. I have to put together a few stuff so that my place can be just like I want it, because I don't want to be in the village and be looking like a slave. So that was what happened. And one day I was not around actually. I went for the weekend, but my other colleague was still in there, and it rained heavily, they stormed, and I was actually getting back to school on Monday, and I was calling everybody in the village. Nobody's line was going through. I said, what is happening? So I got there, and then I saw, to my utmost dismay, the building we have put out that I didn't even move in mine, because at the point I was fixing wallpapers at the time, and then they said there was a stormy rain. And then the whole building collapsed. The roofs were flying high and all of those. So when I came, and then the NADMO was there. I wasn't there, but my friend said she literally had to run for her life. So she left her TV, her fan and everything, and moved to the bungalow side. And that one, we have two males already in one of the space. So she ran to them over there. So her mattress, the rest of everything got soaked. for me, I just really have like a plastic wardrobe, so I didn't have much of a problem. I don't have a lot of my belongings there.
So with all this pressure that you were under, I mean, being a career woman, how do you blend that one with your personal life, as in relationship and dating and all that? All this stress.
Okay, so I was moving up and down in between Accra and Ada on weekly basis. But I think the time I usually got busy, all my relationships, not at all, all my relationships had already gone under the water before I have to go through some of these things. But I think as a person, I would say I have not been very lucky when it comes to matters of relationship, and it's something I don't really like talking about. But for the purpose of this interview, maybe I may want to say one of few things. But relationship, it involves it takes two to tangle, as they say. And until two people are ready to really make things work, it's really not it's not going to work, so that is what I just have to say so far, because there were a few times I don't even know, nothing happens actually. Now we need to move in with the boys. So now we are 2 females and 2 males living in the same space. And one can attest, for we females, we have mood swings when we are in our days, like in our period. Sorry for saying that. You would need some, excuse me to say, you will need some privacy. You have to be there. So like sometimes you have to sleep on the floor and stuff. But because we are living with our colleague male teachers, we cannot do any of those things. If you are changing, you need to do, like, you have to be as quick as possible because somebody is coming in next and all of that. And we live together for like a whole year. For me, it's a bit not a lot for me because I always go and come. But for that my colleague that was living in their village, it's sad, like it's sad. And so after a year, we had some of our colleagues going on steady leave with pay, and they left for steady leave, and then that gave us some kind of space. So now we splitted to be 2 females, and then the males were still in their space. But what happens when we have new set of teachers, because we don't have accommodation? So it means that the same thing is going to repeat itself. And these are some of the things we need to look at as a country. These are some of the things we need to prioritize. We need private investors that will go to some of these villages, go and put up bungalows and be renting out. If the government don't want to do it, we should have private investors go to some of these villages and put a very nice edifice, chamber and hall with porch, neat washroom, bathrooms, place for teachers that they will even rent and pay you. It's a means of income. So we should start congesting the cities. Everybody wants to build in Accra, but let's endeavor to go to some of these places, put up nice bungalows and rent out to teachers that will come there, so that the impact there will be massive. Yeah.
So guys, everybody's welcome. So guys, thank you very much for watching this particular episode. If you're a teacher out there, you're a businesswoman out there, know that we feel your pain as well. God bless you. I hope you've learned something from what my sister has shared about her profession, multitasking, career, relationship, and all that. God bless you. Until we meet again, my name is Dr. Sando Program, RideAndChat. Bye-bye.